Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Magnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Svapadantikam वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथन्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सवधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते कुपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमां विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय श्री प्रभात। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। शृण्वतां स्वकथाः कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तन हृद्यन्दस्तो यभद्राणि विदुनोति सुहृत्सताम् नस्ताप्राय प्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भागवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma Supersoul in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by renderings of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the person of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai.
अनुरोध प्रणाम प्रभु जी, जय श्री प्रभुपाद।
Hare Krishna, Prasanna Prabhu and Saurabh Prabhu, Tanda Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु।
Okay, we continue Canto 1, Chapter 5, text number 15. युगुप्सितं धर्मकृतेऽनुशासता स्वभावरक्तस्य महान् व्यतिक्रमा यद्वाक्यतो धर्म इत्येतरः स्थितो न मन्यते तस्य निवारणं जना. Yugupsitam, verily condemned, dharmakrite, of the matter of religion, anushasata, instruction, svabhava raktasya, naturally inclined, mahan, great, vyatikrama, unreasonable, yatva, yatvakyata, under whose instruction, dharmaha, religion, iti, It is thus. Itaraha, the people in general. Stita, fixed. Na, do not. Manyate, think. Tasya, of that. Nivaranam, prohibition. Janaha, they. Translation. The people in general are naturally inclined to enjoy, and you have encouraged them in that way in the name of religion. This is verily condemned and is quite unreasonable. Because they are guided under your instruction, they will accept such activities in the name of religion and will hardly care for prohibitions. Hmm. So this is Narada instructing Vedavyas. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Srila Vyasadev's compilation of different Vedic literatures on the basis of regulated performances of fruitive activities as depicted in the Mahabharata and other literature is condemned herewith by Srila Narada. The human beings, by long material association life after life, have a natural inclination, by practice, to endeavor to lord it over material nature. They have no sense of the responsibility of human life. This human form of life is a chance to get out of the clutches of illusory matter. The Vedas are meant for going back to Godhead, going back home. To revolve in the cycle of transmigration in a series of lives numbering 8.4 million is an imprisoned life for the condemned conditioned souls. The human form of life is a chance to get out of this imprisoned life, and as such, the only occupation of the human being is to re-establish his lost relationship with God. Under the circumstances, one should never be encouraged in making a plan for sense enjoyment in the name of religious functions. Hmm.
Yes, Prabhu, this is the main point. And they are now doing this all over the world.
Yes, Brahman.
Yeah, bro. And they are saying that these are religion. What is nonsense?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, they're mostly doing this.
Yes, bro.
Such di- such diversions of you of the such diversion of the human energy results in a misguided civilization. Srila Vyasadeva is the authority in Vedic explanations in the Mahabharata, etc., and his encouragement in sense enjoyment in some form or other is a great barrier for spiritual advancement because the people in general will not agree to renounce material activities which hold them in material bondage. At a certain stage of human civilization, such material activities in the name of religion, as sacrificing animals in the name of yagna, were too much rampant. The Lord incarnated himself as Buddha and decried the authority of the Vedas to stop animal sacrifice in the name of religion. This was foreseen by Narada, and therefore he condemned such literature. The flesh eaters will still continue to perform animal sacrifice before some demigod or goddess in the name of religion, because in some of the Vedic literatures such regulated sacrifice is recommended. They also recommend to discourage flesh eating, but gradually the purpose of such religious activities is forgotten and the slaughterhouse becomes prominent. This is because foolish materialistic men do not care to listen to others who are actually in position to explain the Vedic rites. In the Vedas, it is distinctly said that the perfection of life is never to be attained either by voluminous work or by accumulation of wealth or even by increasing the number of population. But it is so attained only by renunciation. The materialistic man do not care to listen to such injunctions. According to them, the so-called renounced order of life is meant for those who are unable to earn their livelihood because of some corporal defects, or for persons who have failed to achieve prosperity in family life. In histories like Mahabharata, of course, there are topics on transcendental subjects along with material topics. The Bhagavad Gita is there in the Mahabharata. The whole idea of the Mahabharata is culminated in the ultimate instruction of the Bhagavad Gita, that one should relinquish all other engagements and should engage oneself solely and fully in surrendering unto the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. But men with materialistic tendencies are more attracted to politics, economics, and philanthropic activities mentioned in the Mahabharata than to the principal topic, namely the Bhagavad Gita. This compromising spirit of Vyasadeva is directly condemned by Narada, who advises him to directly proclaim that the prime necessity of human life is to realize one's eternal relation with the Lord, and thus surrender unto him without delay. A patient suffering from a particular type of malady is almost always inclined to accept eatables which are forbidden for him. The expert physician do not make any compromise with the patient by allowing him to take partially what he should not at all take. In the Bhagavad Gita it is also said that the man attached to fruitive work should not be discouraged from his occupation, for gradually he may be elevated to the position of self-realization. This is sometimes applicable for those who are only dry empiric philosophers without spiritual realization, but those who are in the devotional line need not be always so advised. Ribol. Okay, one straight, the next one.
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Brahma.
Ikaksano-sya-syanti viditum vibhor ananta parasya nivrittita sukham pravarta manasya guner anat manas tato bhavan darsaya chistitam vibho vikasanaha. Very expert asya abhi arhati desires viditum to understand vibho of the Lord. Ananta Parasaya of the unlimited. Nivrittita, retired from. Sukham, material happiness. Pravarta manasya, those who are attached to. Guni, by the material qualities. Anat manaha, devoid of knowledge in spiritual value. Tataha, therefore. Bhavan, your goodness. Tarsaya, show the ways. Chestitam, activities. Vivoho of the Lord. Translation. The Supreme Lord is unlimited. Only a very expert personality retired from the activity of material happiness deserves to understand this knowledge of spiritual values. Therefore, those who are not so well situated due to material attachment should be shown the ways of transcendental realization by your goodness through description of the transcendental activities of the Supreme Lord. Purport by His Divine Grace Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Theological science is a difficult subject, especially when it deals with the transcendental nature of God. It is not a subject matter to be understood by persons who are too much attached to material activities. Only the very expert who have almost retired from materialistic activities by culture of spiritual knowledge can be admitted to the study of this great science. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly stated that out of many hundreds and thousands of men, only one person deserves to enter into transcendental realization. And out of many thousands of such transcendentally realized persons, only a few can understand the theological science specifically dealing with God as a person. Sri Vyasdeva is therefore advised by Narada to respect the science of God directly by relating his transcendental activities. Vyasdeva is himself a personality expert in this science. and he is unattached to material enjoyment. Therefore, he is the right person to describe it, and Sukdev Goswami, the son of Vyasdev, is the right person to receive it. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the topmost theological science, and therefore it can react on the layman as medicinal doses, because it contains the transcendental activities of the Lord. There is no difference between the Lord and the literature. The literature is the factual literary incarnation of the Lord. Yes, Prabhu, here it's again saying that incarnation. So the layman can hear the narration of the activities of the Lord. Thereby, they are able to associate with Lord and thus gradually become purified from material disease. The expert devotees also can discover novel ways and means to convert the non-devotees in terms of particular time and circumstances. Devotional service is dynamic activity, and the expert devotees can find out competent means into the dull devotional service dynamic activity, and the expert devotees can find out competent means to inject it into the dull brains of the materialistic population. Such transcendental activities of the devotees for the service of the Lord can bring a new order of life to the foolish society of materialistic men. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and subsequent followers exhibited expert dexterity in this connection. By following the same method, one can bring the materialistic man of this age of quarrel into order of for peaceful life and transcendental realization. Can someone else read? Oh, I have some issues. Someone else.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for reading.
Thank you. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guru Shakti, Prabhu Dandat, Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Guru Shakti, Prabhu Dandat, Pranam, Guru Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Who wants to read?
Yeah, I can read.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu, you can start.
Okay.
Oh, Pranjal Prabhu ki jai.
त्यक्त्वा स्वधर्मं चरं भुजं हरेर् भाजन् अपाक्वोत्वा पतेत् ततो यदि यत्र विभाद्रम् अमुष्या किं को वृथा अप्तो भजतं स्वधर्मतः त्यक्त्वा having forsaken swadharman one's own swadharmam one's own occupational engagement Charanambujam, the lotus feet. Hare, of Hari, the Lord. Bhajan, in the course of devotional service. Apavaka, immature. Atha, for the matter of. Patet, fall down. Tata, from that place. Yadi, if. Yatra, whereupon. Kva, what sort of. Va, or. Used sarcastically. Abhadram, unfavorable. Abhut, shall happen. Amasya, of him. Kim, nothing. Kavartha, what interest. Apta, obtained. Abhajitam, of the non-devotee. Swadharmata, being engaged in occupational service. Yes, Prabhu. Translation. One who has forsaken his material occupations to engage in the devotional service of Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature stage, yet there is no danger of his being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devotee, though fully engaged in occupational duties, does not gain anything. Purport. As far as the duties of mankind are concerned, there are innumerable duties. Every man is duty bound, not only to his parents, family members, society, country, humanity, other living beings, the demigods, etc., but also to the great philosophers, poets, scientists, etc. It is enjoined in the scriptures that one can relinquish all such duties and surrenders unto the service of the Lord. So, if one does so and becomes successful in the discharge of his devotional service unto the Lord, it is well and good. But it so happens sometimes that one surrenders himself unto the service of the Lord by some temporary sentiment, and in the long run, due to the many other reasons, he falls down from the path of his service by undesirable association. There are so many instances of this in the histories. Bharat Maharaj was also obliged to take birth at us as a stag due to his intimate attachment to a stag. He thought of his stag. He thought of this stag when he died. As such, in the next birth, he became a stag. Although he did not forget the incidents of his previous birth. Similarly, Maharaj Chitraketu also fell down due to his offenses at the feet of Lord Shiva. But in despite of all this, the stress is given here to surrender onto the lotus feet of Lord, even if there is chance of falling down. Because even though one falls down from the prescribed duties of devotional service, he will never forget the lotus feet of the Lord. Once engaged, once engaged in the devotional service of Lord, one will continue to serve. One will continue the service in all circumstances. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that even a small quantity of devotional service can save one from the most dangerous position. There are many instances of such example in the history. Ajamila is one of them. Ajamila in his early life was a devotee, but in his youth he fell down. Still, he was saved by the Lord at the end. Text 18. Yes.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Haribol. Okay, who wants to read next?
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
चस्यैव हेतो प्रयतते कोविदो न लभ्यते यत् प्रावमतम् उपरि अदा तल्लभ्यते तुकोवद् अन्यतं सुखं कलेन सर्वत्र गोबिरा रमहस tasya for that purpose eva only heto reason pratela prayatala should endeavor kavida one who is philosophically inclined na not labhyata is not obtained yet what Yat what? Brahmamatam, wandering. Upariyada, from top to bottom. That. Lapyata can be obtained. Dukha, like the mysteries. Anyata, as a result of previous work. Sugam, sense enjoyment. Kalena, in the course of time. Sarvatra, everywhere. Gabira, subtle. Ramasa, progress. Translation. Persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purpose and which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet Brahmaloka down to the lowest planet Padala. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time. Just as in course of time we obtain miseries even though we do not desire them. Purport. Every man everywhere is trying to obtain the greatest amount of sense enjoyment by various endeavors. Some of them are busy engaged in trade, industry, economic development, political supremacy, etc. And some of them are engaged in fruity work to become happy in the next life by attaining high planets. It is said that in the moon, the inhabitants are fit for greater sense enjoyment by drinking somarasa, and the Pitraloka is obtained by good charitable work. So there are various programs for sense enjoyment either during this life or in the life after death. Some are trying to reach the moon or other planets by some mechanical arrangement, for they are very anxious to get into such planets without doing good work. but it is not to happen. By the law of supreme, different places are meant for different grades of living beings according to the work they might have performed. By good work only as prescribed in the scriptures, one can obtain birth in a good family, opulence, good education, and good bodily features. We see also that even in this life, one obtains a good education or money or bodily beauty. Similarly, in our next birth, we get such desirable positions only by good work. Otherwise, would not so happen that two persons born in the same place at the same time are seen differently placed according to previous work. But all such material positions are not permanent. The positions in the topmost Brahmaloka and in the lowest Patala are also changeable according to our own work. The philosophically inclined person must not be tempted by such changeable positions. He should try to get into the permanent life of bliss and knowledge, where he will not be forced to come back again to the miserable material world, either in this or that planet. Miseries and mixed happiness are two features of material life, and they are obtained in Brahmaloka and in other lokas also. They are obtained in the life of the demigods and also in the life of the dogs and hogs. The miseries and mixed happiness of all living beings are only of different degree and quality, but no one is free from miseries of birth, death, and old age and disease. Similarly, everyone has his distant happiness also. No one can get more or less of these things simply by personal endeavors. Even if they obtain, they can be lost again. One should not therefore waste time with these flimsy things, but should one only endeavor to go back to Godhead. That should be the mission of everyone's life. Hare bol.
Ribol, thank you, Prabhu. Who wants to continue?
So may I continue?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
नवैचनो जातु कदञ्जनां व्रजेन् मुकुन्दसेवी अन्यारङ्गसन्ततिं त्वरन्मुकुन्दाङ्घ्रि उपगूहनं पुनर्विहातुमिच्छेन्नरसद्रौजन. Whenever voice at any jana, a person jatu at any time Patanjana. Somehow or other, Avrati does not undergo monacy, the devotee of the Lord. Anvayat like others, and oh my dear, Sansatim material existence, Smaran remembering. Mukund Ange, lotus feet of the Lord. Upago Upagohanam, embracing Punah again. Vihatum, willing to give up. Ichet, desire, never rasagraha. One who has reduced the milos, jana person. Translation. My dear Vyas, in the devotee of the Lord Krishna sometimes falls down. So our other it certainly does not undergo material existence like other fruit workers, etc. Because the person was once reduced, the taste of the lotus feet of the Lord can do nothing but remember that ecstasy again and again. Devotee of the Lord automatically becomes uninterested in the enjoyment of material existence because he is the Rasagraha, one who has tasted the sweetness of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. There are many instances where devotees of the Lord have fallen down due to uncongenial association, just like fruit workers who are always prone to degradation. But even though he falls down, a devotee is never to be considered the same as a fallen karmi. A karmi suffered the result of his own productive reactions, whereas a devotee is reformed by chastisement directed by the Lord Himself. The sufferings of an orphan and the suffering of a beloved child of a king are not one and the same, and orphan is really poor because he has no one to take care of him, but a beloved son of the rich man. Although he appears to be on the same level as the orphan, is always under the vigilance of his capable father. Devotee of the Lord due to wrong association sometimes imitates the fruit workers. The fruit workers want to lord it over the material world. Similarly, a neophyte devotee want to lord it over the material world. Similarly, a neophyte devotee foolishly thinks of accumulating some material power in exchange for devotional service. So, Buddhist devotee are sometimes put into difficulty by the Lord Himself. As a special favor, He may remove all material paraphernalia. By such action, the bewildered devotee is forsaken by all friends and relatives, and so he comes to his senses again by the mercy of the Lord and is set to right to execute his devotional service. In Bhagavad Gita, it is also said that such a fallen Murti is such a fallen devotees are given a chance to take birth in a family of highly qualified Brahmana or in a rich mercantile family. अरे प्रभु, a devotee in such a position is not as fortunate as one who is chastised by Lord and put into a position seemingly of helpless. Yes, Prabhu is wholeness. The devotee who becomes helpless by the will of the Lord is more fortunate than those who are born in good families. The fallen devotees born in a good family may forget the lotus feet of the Lord because they are less fortunate, but the devotee who is put into a forlorn condition is more fortunate because he simply returns to the lotus feet of the Lord, thinking himself helpless all round. Pure devotional service so spiritually reducible that a devotee becomes automatically uninterested in material enjoyment. That is the sign of perfection in progressive devotional service. Pure devotee continuously remembers the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna and does not forget him even for a moment, not even in exchange for the opinions of the three world. Thank you, bro.
Ribol, thank you so much, Shubham Prabhu. Okay, who wants to read the next one? We can read some, maybe 5 more.
Can I read?
Haribol, yes, Prabhu.
Excuse me, I was cleaning the garden. So,
No problem. Thank you for joining, Prabhu.
yeah, no problem, no problem. Just 1 minute, huh? Just try to find some place more.
दंडवत प्रणाम गौर प्रभु जय श्री प्रभुपाद
Oh, Hare Krishna, dear Prabhus, please accept my humble obeisances. Oh, Gaurish Prabhupada, thank you very much for association. So, oh, yes, excuse me, I was cleaning and, okay. Idam hi vishvam bhagavan nivitaro yato jagatstana niruddha sambhavam tadishvayam veda bhavam statapite pradeshamatram bhavatam pradalshitam. Idam, this, he, whole, Vishwam, cosmos, Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord, Iva almost the same, Italaha different from, Yataha from whom, Jagat, the worlds, Sthana exist, Niloda annihilation, Sambhavaha creation, that he all about, Swayam personally, Veda known, Bhavan your good self, Tatapi still te unto your Pradesha Matlam, a synopsis only, Bhavataha unto you, Pradalshitam, explain, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Lord, Personality of Godhead, is Himself this cosmos, and still He is aloof from it. From Him only this cosmic manifestation has emanated. In Him it rests, and unto Him it enters after annihilation. Your good self knows all about this. I have only given a synopsis. Purport. For a pure devotee, the conception of Mukunda, Lord Shri Krishna, is both personal and impersonal. The impersonal cosmic situation is also Mukunda because it is the emanation of the energy of Mukunda. For example, a tree is a complete unit, whereas the leaves and branches of the tree are emanated parts and parcel of the tree. The leaves and branches of the tree are also the tree, but the tree itself is neither the leaves nor the branches. The Vedic versions that the world cosmic creation is nothing but Brahman means that since everything is emanating from the Supreme Brahman, nothing is apart from him. Similarly, the part and parcel hand and legs are called the body. But the body as the whole unit is neither the hands nor the legs. The Lord is transcendental form is the transcendental form of eternity, cognition, and beauty. Enters the creation of the energy of the Lord appears to be partially eternal, full of knowledge and beautiful also. The captivated conditioned soul under the influence of the external energy Maya are therefore entrapped in the network of the material nature. They accept this as cause, as all in all. For they have no information of the Lord, who is the primeval cause, nor have they information that the part and parcel of the body, being detached from the whole body, are no longer the same hand or leg from a leg as when attached to the body. Similarly, as a godless civilization detached from the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is just like a detached hand or leg. Such part and parcel may appear like hands and legs, but they have no efficiency. The devotee of Lord Srila Vyasadeva knows this very well. He is further advised by Srila Narada to expand the idea so that the entrapped, conditioned soul may take lesson from him to understand the Supreme Lord as the primeval cause. According to the Vedic version, the Lord is naturally fully powerful, and thus his supreme energy are always perfect and identical with him. Both the spiritual and the material skies and the paraphernalia are emanation of the internal and external energies of the Lord. External energy is comparatively inferior, whereas the internal potency is superior. The superior energy is living force, and therefore she is completely identical, but the external energy, being inert, is partially identical. Both the energies are neither equal to nor greater than the Lord, who is the generator of all energies. Such energies are always under his control, control, exactly as electrical energy. However powerful it may be, it is always under the control of the engineer. The human being and all other living beings are product of his eternal energies. Thus, the living being is also identical with the Lord, but he is never equal or superior to the personality of Godhead. The Lord and living beings are all individual persons. With the help of the matter energies, ah, yes, matter energies, the living beings are also creating something, but none of their creation are equal or superior to the creation of the Lord. The human being may create a small playful Sputnik and may throw it on into outer space. But that does not mean that he create a planet like the Earth or Moon or float it in the air as the Lord does. Men with a profound of knowledge claim to be equal to the Lord, but they are never equal to the Lord. This is never to be. The human being, after attaining complete perfection, may achieve a large percentage of the quality of the Lord, say up to 78%. Human being may achieve 78%. Okay. But it is never possible to surpass the Lord or to become equal with Him. In a diseased condition, only the foolish being claim to be one with the Lord and thus become misled by the illusory energy. The misguided living being, therefore, must accept the supremacy of the Lord and agree to render loving service to Him. For this they have been created. Without this, there cannot be any peace or tranquility in the world. Without devotional service, can not have peace and tranquility in this world. Srila Vyasadeva is advised by Srila Narada to expand this idea in the Bhagavatam. In the Bhagavad Gita also, the same idea is explained. Surrender fully unto the lotus feet of the Lord. That is, I can't see. Sorry. That is the only business of the perfect human being. It was what number of verse, please? We are what chapter 5?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, 1 5 to 20. Okay, thank you. It is a small purport, or
Yes, Prabhu.
okay, I will read it and then give. I don't know if someone else can read.
Yes, Prabhu, I can read.
Paramatma. Yes, you want to read, Prabhu? Pranjal Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, please read. Thank you very much. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
In your words, can you read the verse? But because I don't know the meter. Okay, never mind.
Yes, I can, Prabhu. No problem. I forgot I was mute. So, Tvamatmanatmanama Peyamuttadrik Parasya Pumsa Paramatmana Khalam Ajam Prajatam Jagatam Shivayatam Mahanubhava Vyudayo Diganyatam.
Tvam, yourself. Atmana, by your own self. Atmanam, the super soul. Avehi, search out, Amoga, Drik, one who has perfect vision, Prayasa, of the transcendence, Pumsa, the personality of Godhead, Paramatmana, of the Supreme Lord, Kalam, plenary part, Ajam, birthless, Prajatam, have taken birth, Jagata, of the world, Shivaya, of the well-being, Tat, that, Manubhava, Mahanubhava, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, Abhyodhaya, pastimes, Abhigantyam, Avignatam, described most vividly. Translation: Your goodness has perfect vision. You yourself can know the Supreme Personality of Godhead because you are present as plenary portion of the Lord. Although you are birthless, you have appeared on this earth for the well-being of all people. Please therefore describe the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, more vividly. Srila Vyasadeva is the imparted plenary portion of the incarnation of the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. He descended by his causeless mercy to deliver the fallen souls in the material world. The fallen and forgotten souls are detached from the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The living beings, the living entities, are parts and parcel of the Lord, and they are eternally servitors of the Lord. All the Vedic literatures are therefore put into systematic order for the benefit of the fallen souls. And it is the duty of the fallen souls to take advantage of such literatures and be freed from the bondage of material existence. Although formally Srila Narad Rishi is his spiritual master, Srila Vasudeva is not at all dependent on a spiritual master because in essence he is the spiritual master of everyone else. But because he is doing the work of an acharya, he has taught by his own conduct. He has taught us by his own conduct that one must have a spiritual master, even though he may be God himself. Lord Sri Krishna, Sri Rama, and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all incarnations of Godhead, accepted formal spiritual masters. Although by their transcendental nature they were cognizant of all the knowledge. In order to direct the people in general to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, he himself in the incarnation of Vyasadeva is delineating the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Text 22. Yes, sir. Idam hi pumsastapasa srutasya va svitasya sukatasya cha buddhi datayo avichityuto ratha kavibhir nirupito yad uttama shloka gunanu varnan. Idam, this, he, certainly, pumsa, of everyone, tapasa, by dint of austerities, srutasya, by dint of study of the Vedas, va, or sweetasya, sacrifice, sukatasya, spiritual education, cha, and buddhi, culture of knowledge, tatayo, charity, avichyuta, infallible, artha, interest, kavibhi, by recognized learned fellow, Nirupita concluded yet what Uttama Shloka of the Lord, who is described by the choice poetry, Guna Nuvarnam, description of the transcendental qualities of translation. Learned circles have positively concluded that the infallible purpose of advancement of knowledge, namely austerities, study of the Vedas, sacrifice, chanting of the names and chanting of the hymns, and charity, culminates in the transcendental description of the Lord, who is defined in choice poetry. Purport: Human intellect is developed for the advancement of learning in art, science, philosophy, physics, chemistry, psychology, economics, politics, etc. By culture of such knowledge, the human society can attain perfection of life. This perfection of life culminates in the realization of Supreme Being, Vishnu. The Shruti therefore directs that those who are actually advanced in learning should aspire for the service of Lord Vishnu. Unfortunately, persons who are enamored by the external beauty of the Vishnu Maya do not understand that the culmination of perfection or self-realization depends on Vishnu. Those who are entrapped by Vishnu Maya utilize the advancement of knowledge for sense enjoyment. Srinath Muni has explained that all paraphernalia of the cosmic universe is but an animation from the Lord out of his different energies. Because the Lord has set in motion by his inconceivable energies the actions and reactions of the created manifestation, they have came out to be out of his energy and they rest on his energy, and after annihilation they merge into him. Nothing is indifferent from him, but at the same time the Lord is always different from them. When advancement of knowledge is applied in the service of the Lord, the whole process becomes absolute. The personality of God as is transcendental name, fame, glory, etc. are all non-different from him. Therefore, all the sages and the devotees of the Lord have recommended that the subject matter of art, science, philosophy, physics, chemistry, and psychology, and all other branches of knowledge should be wholly and solely applied in the service of Lord. Art, literature, poetry, painting, etc. may be used in the glorification of the Lord. The fiction writers, poets, and the celebrated literers are generally engaged in writing of sensuous objects. But if they turn towards the service of Lord, they can describe the transcendental pastime of Lord. Valmiki was a great poet, and similarly, Vyasadeva was a great writer. Both of them have absolutely engaged themselves in delineating the transcendental activities of the Lord, and by doing so, they have become immortal. Similarly, the science and philosophy should also be applied in the service of Lord. There is no use of presenting the dry speculative theories of sense gratification. Philosophy and science should be engaged to establish the glory of Lord. Advanced people are eager to understand the absolute truth through the medium of science. And therefore, a great scientist should endeavor to prove the existence of the Lord on a scientific basis. Similarly, philosophical speculations should be utilized to establish the supreme truth as a sentient and all powerful. Similarly, all other branches of the knowledge should be engaged in the service of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is also the same is affirmed that all knowledge not engaged in the service of the Lord is but nescience. Real utilization of advanced knowledge is to establish the glories of the Lord, and that is the real import. Scientific knowledge engaged in the service of Lord and all similar activities are factually Hari Kirtana or glorification of the Lord. Text 23.
Prabhu. Okay, now we need to go to 6 prayers. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Lebang Prabhu Dandar Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada.
You go, Gaura
Krishna.
Shakti Prabhu, Prabhu in the garden.
Yeah, I was cleaning actually. So
Yes, Prabhu. Vaishnava etiquette.
yes, I have. This is also preaching. If someone come here and he see the jungle, then perhaps he will
Oh,
not be very interested.
yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, this is a forest here, so I need to clean.
Yes,
Yeah,
Prabhu.
I can show you a little. This is like a forest, a lot of things.
Oh, you remind me of the Garden of Eden, Prabhu.
Yeah, I grow so many things here, so
Oh, yes, Prabhu.
I,
The
I need to
Benyani, don't you
take.
have a Benyani tree, Prabhu?
Yes, I have. I will show you. Just wait. I have some banana here.
That's the, that's the only tree I know from the Shastras.
But I have, some very a lot of things. I will show you when I will clean, because now I need
Oh,
to
yes, yes,
clean
yes.
everything.
Yes,
This is
Prabhu.
the jungle here, like deep forest, So
The forest that Narada Muni walked on.
perhaps yes, I don't know, but yeah. So we will chant the Shishastakam prayer, right?
Yes. Semi Prabhu, you can do the honors. I feel like chanting the second one.
Darpanamajanam Bhavamahadavagnirvapanam Shreyah Kairavachandrika Vitaranam Vityavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamritasvadanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam.
Namna Makari Bahuda Nicha Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpitanyamita Smaranena Kalaha Eta Trishitava Kripan Bhagavan Mamapi Duradaiva Metra Shamihai Jena Nuragraha
त्रिनादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना मानिना मानदेना कीर्तनीया सदा हरि
Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Va Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavata Bhakti Ahetaki Twai
नन्दतनुजा किङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजस्थितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तय
Nayanam Galadashridharaya Vadanam Gadgadarudaya Gira Pulakairina Chittam Vapukada Tavanama Grahane Bhavishyati.
उगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्राविर्शायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे
Asislava Padaratam Pinastumam Madarshanam Marmam Hatam Karotuva Yata Tatava Vidatulan Pato Mat Prananatastusa Evanarpanaha.
हरिबो
Glory is to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart. We
यस
can
प्रभु
continue, bro. Or should I?
यस प्रभु हरिबो
Which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy names of the Lord constantly.
Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want to causes devotional service birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal savior, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
Oh my
Oh my
Lord, when
Lord,
will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
O Govinda,
oh
feeling
God,
inspiration, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly in his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.
The goal, Sri Siksastakam ki jai.
Jai.
Jai. Semi Prabhu ki jai.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Paujanma Karaya Dishtamana Kirtan Tabutana Paya Krishna Pade Premadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many births, he will not get the love of Godhead that is the ultimate goal of this chanting. The 10
First
offenses
offense.
of the name are as follows. First offense.
First
He
offense
can go
to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
Second offense, to consider the names of the demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal or independent of the names of the Lord Vishnu.
Third, to disobey the order of the spiritual master.
Fourth offense.
Fourth,
To blaspheme the Vedic Church, Holy Church, or in persons to the Vedic version.
Fifth offense,
Fifth
to
offense.
consider the glories of chanting of Hare Krishna to be imagination.
Sixth offense, to give some interpretation of the holy name of the Lord.
Seventh offense, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord.
Eighth offense, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda.
Ninth offense, to instruct the faithless persons about the glories of the holy name.
10th offense, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses and to quickly achieve the desires of the Krishna Prema. Hari Bol.
Let us offer humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desired trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned soul.
Pancha Kalpataru Kosta
Shubhyasya
Kalpatarusha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha
Vaishnava
Pacharanam
Namo
Pavanibhyo
Namo
Vaishnavibhyo
Antagonism
Namo
into
Namah.
the choice.